All right, let's have a look at the quadratic formula. So I'm going to do a bit of reading. The quadratic formula is a tool used in algebra to find solutions or roots of an equation, of a quadratic equation. Okay, well, firstly, what makes a quadratic equation? A quadratic equation can be easily identified by looking at this value, the 2. Okay, there's a little 2. So a quadratic equation is a type of polynomial equation with the second degree. This is what I mean with the second degree. Typically written in the form ax squared plus bx plus c, where a, b, and c are constants and a is not 0. Meaning if a, this value in front of x, had to be 0, this would definitely not be a quadratic polynomial, right? Therefore, we can conclude that a cannot be 0 in this case. Okay, so here's the formula. The formula is x is equal to negative b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Eventually, you start learning it like a little rhyme the more you do it. And over here, we have negative 2bc, b squared minus 4ac. This is known as the discriminant, but we'll get to that in a bit. We use the quadratic formula because it provides a consistent and straightforward method to find the roots of any quadratic equation, regardless of the values of a, b, and c. Particularly useful in various fields such as science, engineering, mathematics, where quadratic relationships are very common. Okay, so let's see. So we have this thing. So you have some parabola. And now what they're talking about is you want to find these things over here. Those are the roots, right? The x roots. Also known as the x-intercepts. Now, sometimes there might be a nice number, beautiful number like 1, or x is equal to negative 4. But sometimes these values become something like 1.23417 to whatever, right? And these ones are obviously very, very difficult to find. So in mathematics, the famous Indian mathematician, if I'm not mistaken, developed a quadratic equation. It makes it easier for us to solve roots. Okay. So through years of practice and dedication, we got this formula. So we should really appreciate it. The history of mathematics. So let's look at an equation. So let's have x squared plus 4x minus 12. Now, firstly, this one is going to be very difficult to find because what times what can give me 12, but it has to be multiplied with 2 as well, and somehow I need to get positive 4. Well, this one is very tricky. So instead of wasting time trying to figure this out, we can jump over to our quadratic equation where we have x sub 1, x sub 2 is equal to negative b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Now the only thing you might be wondering now is, where do I find a, b, and c? Well, we'll have ax squared plus ax squared plus bx plus c. So we can easily identify this value will be c, this value will be b, and this value will be a. So now we can just substitute. So let's say we have 4. Here we have negative 4 plus minus square root of b squared. B squared is 4. Let me write this here to make it easier for you to understand. So we have a is equal to 2, b is equal to 4, and we have c is equal to negative 12. So we have b squared, so 4 squared is 16, minus 4 times 2 times negative 12. That gives me negative 24 if I multiply these two. So that's negative 20. Negative 24 times 4. Man, what am I saying? 96. So let's add 16. That's 112. So we have the square root of 112 over 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So then I have negative 4 plus minus over 4. And now we can evaluate this to find my two x values. I can then say x sub 1 is equal to negative 4 plus the square root of 112 over 4, and I can say x sub 2 is equal to negative 4 minus, look, the difference is here I have positive, here I have negative. Okay, and we have minus 1112 over 4. And now you can type this in on a calculator and find your two x values. And this is how you use the quadratic equation. There's no more tricks to it. Nothing. It's very straightforward going from that point. And you can just constantly do the same thing over and over and over and over. You can even use it for polynomials you don't know. For polynomials we do know. So let's say we have plus 4x plus 4. Let's say you don't understand the method your teacher explained, so the FOIL method. So we have x plus 2, x plus 2. So we have x plus 2 squared. Now you can use the quadratic equation and you'll find the exact same value. This method is just easier, knowing that 4 goes 2 and 2. So 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, right? So it becomes x plus 2, so x squared. Okay, anyway. I hope you found this video valuable. Okay, bye.